Now, before we get going, I want to go ahead and give a little shout out and tell you guys what we're going to be doing for today's virtual hang party here. And it's basically really, really cool, especially if you're a VIP member. So let me go and tell you, if you're a VIP for today's Hang Virtual Watch Party, you look over into the chat section, you're going to see right there a little call out with your name and a VIP tag. If you see that, turn on your camera, but keep your mic muted. Once again, if you're a VIP, turn on your camera, keep your mic muted. Therefore, not everyone's talking over each other. And then simply put in your question into the chat. And then when I see your question, I'll call on you, unmute your mic, and you'll be able to talk to the stars of today's Hang Virtual Party. Now, if you're not a VIP, that's okay. We still want you to interact. We still want you to enjoy this party like everyone else. So if you're not a VIP, type in your questions into the chat section. I'll be looking over periodically to see who's over there. I'll grab a couple of questions and ask those to the stars of today's hang. And also, if you're joining us on Facebook Live or maybe Twitch and you have time to join us live, go to the website letshang.live. That's letshang.live, and you can join today's party live. And if you don't want to join today's party live, that's fine. Just sit back and enjoy the ride because it is going to be a fun one. We have Hall of Famers, Super Bowl champions, former and current NFL players. We even have an NBA champion joining us today, plus a lot more things going on today, all thanks to our friends at Coca-Cola. Once again, checking over to the right-hand side. What's up, guys? I see Daniel over there. I see Ann, War Eagle, Brad shouting out War Eagle as well. So many people joining us today for the Hang Virtual Watch Party. In fact, if I'm not mistaken, I see Mr. TD himself. If you don't know this man, he is a legend from Georgia. He is a two-time Super Bowl champion, Super Bowl MVP, Hall of Famer. Man, it's Terrell Davis. Hey, Terrell, are you there, man?
I'm here. What's up, brother?
What's up, man? How you doing?
My bald head brother. Good to see you again,
man. You know what?
I like that haircut you got there. That's sharp.
Yeah, hey, they wanted good-looking people today, so they're like, get all the bald guys together. So we're joining in here. So, hey, man, thanks so much for joining us. We're going to have a good time today. Yeah. And then someone else has joined us today. This guy, obviously a Georgia alum. Currently, he plays for the Buffalo Bills, but obviously he did great things in Georgia, including getting himself a ring. James Cook joining us right now for the Hang Virtual Party. James, what's up, man?
What's up? What's up? How y'all doing?
I'm good, man. I'm assuming you're in a hotel room.
Nah, we got a home game.
Oh, you got a home game?
Yeah, I'm home right now.
Oh, that's nice. That's nice. Do you have meetings today or not?
Yeah, we already had meetings. We got 2 today, so I got my second one tonight.
That's cool. That's cool. Well, now you get to sit back and hang out with some of our friends and everyone here at Hang. So thanks so much for joining us, man. I appreciate that. Hey, once again, if you have any comments, if you want to say something to the guys, please put all your questions and everything into the comment section and let all of us know what you want to say to the guys. And if you're a VIP member, turn on your camera, keep yourself muted, and then put your questions over to the right-hand side. I'll call out on you guys, and you can ask your question to the favorite stars here for Georgia and Auburn. I'm curious, by the way, Terrell, I'm curious, who are you? Who might you be cheering for today?
What you mean, who I might be cheering for? You know who I'm cheering for, man. Go Dogs, man. Go Dogs.
He's a dog all the way.
Big time.
He's a dog all the way.
We need to bounce back. We need to flex some muscles today. We need to get back on track. And we were sleepwalking in the last 2 weeks, so I think it's a good week to get our focus back. So
very cool. Very cool. Yeah, well, there's plenty of dogs joining us today. I'm looking over in the chat section. Shy, go Dogs. William, let's go Dogs. Lou, hook 'em, baby. All right, we got a Longhorn that's straight in here.
Hey, Texas put a when they opened a can up, that was impressive, man.
Yeah, so that was. I don't want to give them too much credit because I'm a Texas A&M Aggie, so I can't say too much. Okay. But, I got to do something like that. So awesome. James, I got to ask you, man, really quick before we get into today's game. You missed your days? You missed your days in college, or are you enjoying your time in Buffalo?
The Texas game against Oklahoma today was so fucking sick. It's been like I've been waiting 372 days for this game.
Who is that?
Quinn Ewers is going to be the Heisman Trophy quarterback.
All right.
Coming December.
Thank you, Lou. Appreciate it.
No, I'm serious because like Bijan Robinson, Bijan Mustard's son, he's the best top prospect running back going to the draft this year.
Awesome, man. All right, mute your mic because I'm going to come back to you in a second.
I've always been a big fan of you guys. Like Terrell Davis, I remember when you were on the Broncos.
Right on.
There we go. All right.
And then Davion Caldwell-Pope, he played for Detroit. He was pretty good, and it sucked that he got traded from Detroit because I'm from Michigan.
All right. Well, there we go. All right. I appreciate that, Lou. All right. So really quick, going back to you, James, do you miss your days back in college, or are you enjoying your time in Buffalo?
Nah, I definitely miss it. Being in that crowd. And Stadium Electric right now. I know it's going nuts right now.
Yeah. That's awesome. Once again, if you're just joining us right now, the Hang Virtual Party is happening right now as we get ready for Georgia and Auburn. Thank you so much for joining us. If you're, by the way, checking us out on Facebook Live or Twitch, it's not too late to join the party live. Simply go to the website. It is letshang.live. One more time. It's letshang.live. You go to the website, you can join us in real time. And also, I've got to give another major shout out to our friends over at Coca-Cola. I've got my Coca-Cola to my left-hand side. I'm representing today the Coca-Cola. I'm probably about to change the game when I show you guys exactly how I'm going to drink my Coca-Cola. So don't be too weirded out when I get to that. But hey, we still have some more stars joining us later for this game. Jason Campbell, he's actually at the game along with, I believe Ronnie Brown is there too. So they'll be joining us today. Peyton Barber will be here. And then if you are, without question, a big fan of Auburn, Chris Davis will join us today. So that's going to be quite exciting. So once again, thanks everyone for joining us here for the Hang Virtual Party. Put your comments in the section. Put your questions, everything out there. Let us know what's going on. I got more people in here. Brian K., thank you guys for this opportunity. I appreciate it. Brian, you're a VIP member. If you're a VIP member, listen, go ahead and turn on your video. Keep your mic muted, and then I'm going to come to you guys, and you can ask questions to the stars of the game. And, even if you're not a VIP, that's okay. Put your questions over to the comments section. We're going to come to you as well. So put everything over there. Hey, by the way, Terrell, where are you at right now?
I am I'm in Connecticut.
Connecticut?
I know. This is my first time, coming. I've never been up this way, or at least not in Connecticut. I mean, I've been like in New England area, but yeah. Long story, man. But this is why I'm in a hotel room, as you can see. So,
yeah.
And I feel like what's crazy because James is sitting there, and it's the day before a game. I remember I'm in this hotel room, and I'm going through like flashbacks, man, because we would have to go to hotel rooms even if we were at home. We couldn't stay at home. We had to go check into the hotel, stay in there. And this is the part of the plan that I hated. I hated the time from Saturday all the way to Sunday, because all your mind is doing is just trying to play the game, and it's like you're just sitting around here, and I'm like, man, I'm ready to play. I don't want to just be sitting in a hotel room. I don't need to study no more. I'm ready for the game. I'm ready to go. And this is the torture part of playing on Sundays. Is sitting here in this hotel room watching college football. And James, I see, I know you know what I'm talking about, man. Like this is the torture part here.
Yeah.
Well, you know what, James? I'm going to put you to work right now. One of our viewers here for the Hang Virtual Watch Party has a question for you. So Hayden P, go ahead and unmute your mic and go ahead and ask James one of your questions.
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, we hear you, Hayden. Go ahead and ask a question to James.
Yo, what's up, James? My dad is a big Buffalo Bills fan. He's got you and your brother on his fantasy, but he's mad because Ken's not giving you the ball more as they should. And I just want to say, love you in Buffalo. You're gonna do great things, man.
Oh, there you go.
I don't know if that was a question. That's what you're trying to tell me.
He made a statement. That was a statement. Where you at, Hayden? Where you at anyway, man?
Appreciate it, though. Appreciate it.
Oh, I'm still here. What's up, Terrell Davis? I used you in Madden, Terrell, and oh my God, that was awesome.
Right on, brother. Where are you? You seem like you had some type of like pub or a bar or something. Where are you?
I'm in my house.
Oh,
yeah, okay.
Nice setup you've got there.
I know.
That's a nice setup you got there. Awesome. Hey, once again, if you have a question, you want to give it to the guys, go and put your questions into the comments section or the chat section, I should say, and let us know. If you're a VIP member, like Hayden was, you can actually go on video and talk to the stars of today's game. And once again, don't forget, we're still going to have more joining us today. Jason Campbell, Peyton Barber, Chris Davis will join us in the first quarter. Then we're going to get to some home gating meals, which is also a really great thing, especially if you're wanting to mix it with a little Coca-Cola. So we're going to do that at the end of the first quarter. Carson D, hello. Mine says waiting to be let in. You should be already let in, Carson. I see you right there, man. Jenna, hey, CD. Hello, Brian K. Your camera is working. I mean, everyone's talking right now in the chat section, and everyone's having a really good time. Going back to you, James, I've got to ask, you won the national championship with Georgia. You're now in Buffalo. You had a good quarterback in Georgia, and now you're with a great quarterback. How is it playing alongside Josh Allen?
It's good. He's a great teammate. Great leader. But nobody see like what he do off the field. Like he a real good leader. Like he have handshakes with all his teammates. Like. He get the team together and be a good person.
That's awesome. Terrell, I've got to ask the same thing. I mean, going back to the Bronco years, growing up and watching you play was just like unbelievable. But who was that one? Who were those one or two teammates that just shined, in your opinion, that you probably don't think everyone noticed that they were such a great teammate?
Oh, that's easy, man. My buddy Rod Smith. Rod Smith is undrafted wide receiver, ward number 80, played a long time. Rod's probably going to be a Hall of Famer one day. But he's to me was one of the shit. I'm talking about like as far as like talent wise, I've never seen. He's the most talented athlete I've ever seen. Not only in just like football, but you name it. He can play basketball, baseball. You want to challenge him in darts, and chess, whatever it is. I've never seen anybody who can play everything well. And Rod was that guy. Made a lot of plays, wasn't the fastest, but go watch the film on Rod Smith. He didn't get the love because he wasn't a big name. He created a big name, but yeah, without a doubt, Rod Smith is
man. That's a throwback name. That's a throwback. Yeah. I love that.
Go watch the tape. Go watch the tape on Rod. And he blocked, man. The most important thing for a running back is you got receivers that block. You my best friend, and Rod was my best friend because he blocked.
Well, that's awesome. Well, listen, I'm not going to talk about a wide receiver right now or a running back. Instead, I want to bring in a quarterback. Not only was he a quarterback at Auburn, but he is without question one of the guys that goes down in history as one of the Auburn greats, simply because of what he did in 2013, the kick six. Chris Davis joining us right now for the Hang virtual party. Hey, Chris, what's up, man?
At no cost to you. Saving you hundreds, even thousands with Inflation Buster.
I know Chris is in there somewhere.
More date nights. Now imagine.
Yeah, I'm here, man. What's up? What's going on?
Oh, there he is. What's going on, man?
Not much, man. My mic was muted. I had to unmute it.
That's okay, man. Hey, why don't you say hello to the other guys we have in the room? We have James Cook and we have Terrell Davis.
James, TD, what's up, man?
What up?
What's up, bro? How you doing, man?
Man, I can't complain.
That's awesome, man. Hey, thanks so much for joining us. I see you got your Coke there by your side as we rep some Coca-Cola today.
Yeah.
Now
they made sure I had to get the Coke.
Yeah. Now I had to bring my Coke as well. I've got to get the nice ice cold Coke in a glass bottle. I don't know if you guys do anything like that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but I do something a little different. And by the way, I'm going to get to you, Brian. Brian R's got a question coming up for James. But yeah, when I drink my Cokes, this is a little strange, but I like to put peanuts in it. Y'all never had Coke?
I ain't never
with
heard
peanut?
that.
Nah,
Golly. I
yeah,
thought you was
so-
about to say you put. I thought
I
you was
love
about to
the
say you put a
peanuts.
little liquor in there.
No, it's a
Peanuts and Coke.
Hell nah. that's
Peanuts
Peanuts
nasty.
and
and
Coke.
dude, it's a Southern
Yeah.
thing. I trust me. If you're in the chat section right now, you gotta back me up. I know I've got some Auburn fans and Georgia fans going to back me up. Coca-Cola and peanuts. That's where it's at. By the way, let's go to the chat section real quick. Brian R. Brian R. You've got a question for James. Go ahead and unmute your mic and ask away.
Hey James, man. In your time at Georgia, man, I know you were part of a national championship football team, man. But this year, 2022, you think we have a chance to repeat?
Georgia by a million. Georgia by a million tonight. Georgia's gonna win by at least 14 to 20 points.
All right,
I
Lou.
promise it. I promise it. Hook 'em horns. Stetson Bennett is
Someone
gonna
get
go
that
off.
beer from him.
All right, mute your mic, Lou.
No
I know
way,
what
man.
you sipping on, Lou.
Yeah.
No way, man.
Stetson Bennett for president. Stetson Bennett is a fucking Heisman Trophy winner.
Got you,
He's
Lou.
gonna
All
go
right,
off.
mute your mic, Lou. All right,
Hey,
so
man.
Brian, you were asking James about Georgia this year. I mean, James, what do you think about the Bulldogs this season?
Oh man. I mean, they got the team. You know, we just got to get the job done. You know, come out there each and every week and just play our brand of football.
Hey man, I know we struggled against. Hey man, I know we struggled against Missouri and Kent State, man. But I mean, this is Auburn we're playing against today, man. You know, and I mean, we gotta play a lot better than we did these past 2 games, man. You know.
Yeah, like my
You're
man
gonna have to
said,
do a lot better
Georgia
than
by
that.
50. Georgia by 50.
Georgia by 50.
Hey man, Georgia by 50. Hey man, I'll take those odds, man, any day. Go Dogs, baby.
Oh man, you know what? I'm not even going to respond to that. Chris, take it away. Chris Davis, take it away. What's your response?
No, hey, the game. At the end of the day, the game got to be
come on,
played.
Chris.
That's how I
Come
look
on,
at
man.
it. At the end of the day, the game got to be played, baby.
That's right.
Hey man.
That's right. That's
Hey
awesome.
man,
Hey,
SEC. Hey man, SEC is the toughest conference in college football, man. Go Dogs all the way, baby.
got a dog right there. Well, guess what? We are already into the game right now. Kickoff's already happened. Thanks, everyone, for joining us right now. Another Hang virtual watch party here. If you're on Facebook Live or Twitch, if you want to join the party live, go to our website, letshang.live, and you can check it out live. And also, all season long, Coke is connecting fans with exclusive content, recipes, experiences on their Great Calls digital hub. So you can win weekly prizes. It's really cool. You get stuff from DoorDash, Fanatics, the Coca-Cola store, Yeti coolers. Make sure to check it out by clicking on the ads above, as you can see right here above us in Hang, or you can go to their website. It's coca-cola.com/college football. One more time, coca-cola.com/college football for the Coke Great Calls program that we have running right now. So the game is underway right now. Terrell, anything you're trying to look for in this game in order to get that W today?
I mean, typically when you have the favorite like this, obviously Georgia just has to. I mean, if they play their style of football, I agree. I don't think it's going to be a close game if they play their style of football. But listen, man, this is Auburn, and even when I was there, this was never an easy win. This wasn't one you look at the calendar and say, all right, the schedule, we're going to chalk this one up as a dub, no matter what their record is. So I think it's going to be a tight game, man. But I think Georgia, like I said before, they have a chance to at least try to get back to that feeling of dominance.
Right.
The dogs are going to eat tonight. The dogs are going to pull through. Like Terrell Davis said. Terrell Davis ain't never wrong.
That ain't true, my man. That ain't true. But anyway, Chris, listen, we all know that as we play this game, man. Funny things happen. That's why there's no guarantee in sports. That's why sports is the best. It's the best reality TV out there.
Right.
Until any given Saturday, any given Sunday, it's just what it is. Like you can be the most talented team. You can go out there and everybody can tell you how great you are, but it can just be that day.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
Chris, I'm hoping that today ain't that day, but I always approach every game knowing that
Terrell is right about that,
man.
because any team can go out and be anybody.
That's right. I mean, anything can happen. And Chris, I know anything could happen with that kick six you had back in the day. By the way, Chris Davis joining us here for this Hang virtual party. Chris, we actually have a question from one of our VIPs, Ryan O. Ryan O. Go ahead and unmute your mic. Ask a question to Chris Davis.
Yeah, man. What was that experience like, man, with that kick six? Like, what'd you feel?
Oh man, I don't know, man. I don't know. It was an unbelievable feeling, just in the moment. I was caught up in the moment. And I really didn't get to enjoy it, with a lot of stuff going around and the whole team jumping on me. I almost died under the bottom of the pile, man. I couldn't breathe. Man, I got up with a mug on my face, like, get the off me, But, man, it was a great experience. Afterwards, though, man, I was walking around campus. I was feeling like Cam Newton, man. Everywhere I go, somebody was stopping me, man. They was following me all around campus, standing ovations. So it was love.
Dude, that just has to be one of the best feelings. Everyone tries to have those moments in life where you just want that one moment to feel like you're here for a reason. That just has to feel not only amazing at that time, but just, I mean, you're part of Auburn lore. You're part of history. How does that feel knowing for the rest of your life you're just part of that history?
I mean, honestly, that's what, like, guys like us, like TD and James, that's what we play the game for. To make those type of plays, to go down in history, and I'm just glad to be a part of it.
That's awesome, man. That's awesome. I'm glad everyone's a part of this Hang virtual watch party today. Once again, if you're a VIP member, go and put your question over into the chat section, and we're going to ask away to the guys. Even if you're not a VIP, that's okay. Go ahead and ask a question away. I'm going to come to you guys as well, and you can ask your questions to, of course, everyone here. With Terrell Davis is here, and we have James Cook here, and Chris. I mean, we're gonna have a good show today. A lot of fun. We still have Ronnie Brown coming up, Peyton Barber, KPC, NBA champion, going to be joining us as well. So we're going to have a lot of fun. I'm checking out the chat section, by the way. Let's see, Mr. Davis, who was the toughest player you ever played against? I want to ask that to all three guys. Let me go ahead and start right now. Let me ask that to all three guys. I'm going to start with Terrell Davis. Who was the toughest player you played against?
Toughest? Oh, man, there's so many damn good players out there. But I'll answer this other question too, because I'm sure you guys want to know who hit me the hardest. Who hit you the hardest? I'm always like, nobody hit me hard. Nobody hit me hard. Man.
Oh yeah.
Nobody. But the hardest player that I had to play against, and it's pretty. Actually, it's two, but the first one is Junior Seau. Junior Seau was hard as hell to play against. If you guys know who Junior is, man, watch him. He's one of the greatest off the ball linebackers, on the ball linebackers, it don't matter. And he just has such. I mean, he had such athleticism, and he was quick. He was smart, and so anytime we played the Chargers, which they were in our division, play them twice a year. There were times where they had me blocking Junior, at least trying to. Schematically, they had me blocking Junior, not. And that was, and I'd always tell the coach, man, I said, do you want to get number 7 hit? You want to get number 7 killed? We got to change the scheme. You can't put me one-on-one with Junior and expect me to block this man. But the scheme called for it. They do a protection where they slide protect, and they put me off the backside knowing that Junior Seau was over there. So yeah, that was Junior was tough, man. And then the second one I would say will be Derek Thomas. Those are the two top guys that I had to deal with twice a year in the AFC West. It was it was tough.
Man,
I knew it was gonna be a long. I know it's gonna be a long day. Long day we play against Junior, man.
Man, those are two great names you threw out there. Those are two great names. Yeah. James Cook. Who's the toughest player you've had to play?
That's a good question. I don't know. Like college, because I ain't really play against like nobody.
Yeah,
Like,
I mean,
college, I say the 31 from Alabama.
mm-hmm. Yeah,
And
pretty
it's
much anyone in an Alabama jersey.
Yeah,
is that Will Anderson?
Yeah, Will
That's
Anderson. Yeah, he a dog.
Will Anderson, yeah.
That's it. Yeah, Will Anderson was tough. And then what about you, Chris? Who was the toughest player you had to go against?
I got three. I got Mike Evans, OBJ, and D-Hop.
Ooh.
They was tough. You know, it was some good competition. I guarded some pretty good receivers that still, you know, doing their thing in the league also.
Chris, can I ask you a question?
Dude.
What's up?
Oh, I was just gonna say the fact that you mentioned Mike Evans and me being a Texas A&M Aggie, I got much respect for that. So that's awesome. Hey, by the way, for everyone joining us today, since we mentioned a little NFL action, don't
Chris,
forget.
can I ask a question to you?
Yeah, hold on one second. Let me get right to you, Brian. But let me tell everyone really quick, just so everyone knows, that we're going to be doing another Hang virtual party tomorrow. And this is going to be for the Dolphins-Jets game. And not only can you join us by signing up and registering at letshang.live, but you're also going to hang out with guys like Ricky Williams, John Abraham, Bart, can't wait, Scott, YouTuber NMG. They're all going to be joining us tomorrow. Plus, if you go to the website, letshang.live, not only can you register for the game and get the full October schedule, but a special shout out to the Georgia Bulldogs that are joining us right now for this virtual party. Hey, when you join us tomorrow and you sign up and register for the game, you'll be entered to win an autographed Kirby Smart football. Once again, all you got to do is go to the website, letshang.live, sign up, register, and you'll be registered to win an autographed Kirby Smart football. Pretty cool right there. Very, very, very cool right there. All right, I'm checking out some more of the VIPs over here in the chat section. Everyone's wanting to join in and ask questions and go through this awesome experience. By the way, I think I just saw Jason Campbell. Jason, are you there? Okay, we'll get back to Jason because Jason's actually at the game. So we're going to get back to Jason in just a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a good guy. Brian, go ahead and ask your question.
Hey, Chris, man, at your time at Auburn, man, how did it feel to return that ball all the way to the house against Bama, man? That shocked the Bama Nation, man.
Yeah, honestly, it felt great, man, because I grew up a Bama fan, and I never got the Bama offer. I went down, we played against Central Tuscaloosa when I was in high school. That's right across the street from Bama Stadium. And I tore their ass up, but I never got the offer from Bama. So that was kind of like a slap in the face, you know. So it was great, man. It felt great. You know, I'm from Alabama, Birmingham. So it was all love.
That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. Some more questions coming in from our VIPs over in the chat section. Let's see. Who do we have here? We have Jason. I believe Jason has a question. Jason, go ahead and unmute your mic.
Awesome, man.
Go ahead and ask a question to James Cook.
James Cook, do you ever chill at Jim Kelly's house?
No.
That's definitely the randomest question we've gotten so far. Are you at Thurman Munson's house anytime soon? Are you? That's a random question. I kind of enjoy that.
Yeah, you guys got the best team, and for the Buffalo Bills are the best team, number one.
Thanks for joining us for the hang. That's a good thing to ask, James. You know, Buffalo has a strong team. You guys were great last year. You have another strong team this year. How good are you feeling about y'all's chances to go to the ship?
You know, in this league, you know, it's a tough game each and every week. So, you know, we gotta just keep getting wins and find a way to win for here.
Yeah, it's a grind. It's a grind. Going to Terrell Davis. Terrell, you won those Super Bowl championships back in Mile High. It was definitely a grind for you. Who was that one team that you found was going to be your toughest opponent when it came to winning the championships?
And man, I'm trying these peanuts and Coke, man, and it's terrible. It's awful. Don't ever put peanuts and Coke. There you go. That's a horrible idea. Don't ever do that. All right. So, now back to the question at hand here. You said what team?
Yeah. Like what was that one team during those both Super Bowl years that you were like, man, we've got to dominate this team?
Well, you have to understand, man, we were the dominant team back in 97, 98, 96.
Hey, go.
All I'm saying is this. We won 46 games in 3 years, 2 Super Bowl championships. We should have won a third. We should have really won 3 straight championships. But I would say the one team that in that quest for a Super Bowl that was kind of a measuring stick, that once we beat them it was Kansas City in Kansas City. So once we beat them in Kansas City, because we could never beat them there, but we lost them in the regular season. We ended up beating them in KC in a playoff game. So once we did that, that was kind of the final. All right, we've reached a level where we can compete with anybody anywhere. And then we beat Pittsburgh in the playoffs. And so again, doing that is like, all right, if we can beat Pittsburgh in Pittsburgh, that's saying a lot. So once we started doing that, it was like, okay, we'll play anybody anywhere, and we like our chances of winning that game, which we played.
Hey, go Steelers, man.
Yeah, Steelers good team. They're a good team. Any Raiders fans on this?
Yeah, I'm not sure if there's any Raiders fans or not. By the way, I'm adding more peanuts to my Coke, just to kind of let you know.
That's a terrible idea. Stop doing that.
You're missing out. You're missing out right there. Hey, by the way, let's go ahead and add to the hang party right now. We've got some other guys join us right now. This guy, he played in Tampa Bay. He played in Washington. He played for the Raiders, and he is a proud Auburn alum. Peyton Barber. Peyton Barber joining us on the Hang Virtual Party. Peyton, are you there, man?
I'm here. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah. What's going on, man?
Yep.
Not much, man. Not much. Sitting down watching the game.
Awesome.
Peyton, what's up, my
guys?
Yo, what's going on, man? Straight?
Man, I can't complain. Good
What's up,
seeing
Peyton?
you, bro.
Yeah, good to see you also, dog. What's going on, man?
Hey, this is your boy J Cam, man. I want to say what's up.
Oh, Jason Campbell, what is going on, sir?
What's happening, man? I'm just here at the game.
Jason,
enjoying
what's
this
up,
great
man?
atmosphere. What's happening? You doing all right?
All right, man. How you doing, man? Go Dogs.
That is awesome, Jason Campbell.
Or you go.
Oh,
man, how's it? Dude, you're at the game right now. How's the atmosphere right now?
Yeah. Oh, the atmosphere is crazy. Before the game, they had a DJ, so they have a DJ in the stadium, so it's like you're in Vegas. So I had to step out of the room so I could hear it. I was just like, man, it's like a party up in here. But it's a great atmosphere, man. The Deep South oldest rivalry, so you can't complain.
That's awesome. That's awesome, man.
What are you doing? What are you doing for the team, Jason?
I actually do radio for the team, and then I'm doing NIL stuff, with the NIL.
I got you.
Yeah, it's a different world now, TD.
Listen, that NIL stuff is. I love it though. I love it. I think it's appropriate, man. You put all that work in college level, man. You don't get nothing. You don't get nothing. Right. We didn't get a dime.
Coaches got paid, but we did.
Well, man,
You're in the national championship town, man.
Yeah. Hey, that's a good point, TD. I've got to ask you. I mean, you didn't have the NIL deals back in your day. I mean, do you wish it was available when you had played back in the day?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Why not? Because listen, I think people assume that every college athlete is going to the pros,
right?
And so they think, all right, well, you don't need to get paid because you're going to the pros. You'll get paid later. But most of us don't go to the pros. So if you have a small window to capitalize off your likeness, then why are we being prohibited from doing that? I mean, you couldn't even do a signing and get paid when I played. you couldn't do anything to make any money. So it was technically like a welfare program where they kept you with no money in your pocket.
Hey, man, I'm on the site,
then
man, talking to these celebrities.
If you did something illegal or against the rules, then you became a bad person. You got suspended. So I never liked the format, man. I'm 100% behind players being able to earn a living. You know, the schools can take your jersey, they can license it and get paid for it. Why can't players do it? I'm 100% behind it, man. So I'm glad it's happening. I'm glad players are getting paid. Now the challenge now becomes with this transport, this portal, which is kind of crazy to me. The portal thing is mind-boggling because I thought you had to have some reason to use the portal, but now it's like if you had a school and you're not playing, well, instead of competing, you can just leave. You can go somewhere else. So I'm not sure how I feel about that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it takes the loyalty out of the sport a little bit. You know, commitment. You know, which I think may hurt rivalry games because if a guy was on the Auburn team this year, next year he'd be on Georgia team. You know, and usually you had one school for 4 years, it creates the rivalry.
Yeah, like it's crazy. I'm watching the football. I'm like, wait a minute, this kid came. You watch a quarterback, and he got 3 schools in the last 3 years that he went to, and it's like, man, was this like this free agent? Like, what are we watching here?
Yeah,
and it's different because it's almost like college basketball now, right? Because college basketball, it was that one and done, right? They come in for a year, they play and they're gone. So it's hard to watch college basketball for a long time because I didn't know who was on the roster. They didn't have like the 5-man that would stay for 3 years. You like the Kentuckys and the Dukes, you don't see that a whole lot now. So,
right. Yeah, I definitely know what you guys are talking about. Like I said, I'm a Texas A&M Aggie. So last year I'm cheering Max Johnson for LSU, and now he's our quarterback. So it's kind of a weird thing, but NIL and transfer portal is a hot button issue. By the way, if you have a topic, if you have a question you want to ask the guys, put it right there into our chat section. I'm going to come over and talk to you guys. Just get ready to throw out your question. If you're a VIP, put your question over there. Not only will I come to you, but also you can unmute your mic and talk to the stars of today's game as we are doing another Hang virtual watch party. Thanks to our friends over at Coca-Cola. And we're going to do another one tomorrow. Dolphins, Jets. If you want to hang with us for tomorrow's party, go to the website, let'shang.live. Let'shang.live. Register and hang out with Ricky Williams, John Abraham, Bart Scott, and MMG. I want to get to Peyton Barber before I get back to some of the people joining us over in the chat section. Hey, Peyton, I've got to ask, your time with the Raiders, you played in the Gruden years. I'm very curious as how the Gruden years went for you with the Raiders.
Well, honestly, I had a great time, to be honest. I know there was a lot of speculation to what people were saying about him and this, that, and the third. But, to be honest, I had no problems with him, man. I thought that it was the exact opposite, man. Coach Gruden was a player's coach, and I really enjoyed having him as a head coach. He was honestly probably my favorite head coach that I've had, to be honest. So
wow, that's awesome. That's all. Yeah. It's controversial issue. Some people say one thing, others say the other. But coming from a guy who actually is on the team, that's pretty good. By the way, let's get to one of our VIPs. Has a question for Terrell Davis. Is it Ishmael? Ishmael, go ahead and unmute your mic and ask a question away to TD. Are you there? Is it Ismail?
Yeah.
Ishmael? There you go. Yeah. Hey, ask your question away to Terrell Davis.
Hey, TD, I got a question, boss.
Go for it.
Hey, what do you think about Russ being in Denver right now?
Oh, wow.
Uh-oh.
Good question. That's it.
You think that'll be another Peyton Manning or no?
Oh man, it's a tough question, man, because I think we're all a little surprised, and I live in Denver now, and believe me, man, they are roasting. They're not happy with everything, with Nathaniel Hackett. They're not happy with Russell. They're not happy with the way the team is performing right now, and so I try to be patient because I know the most important thing is not about how you start, it's how you finish. And I'm not going to just think that this is the final product. I think there was a process there, and maybe I'm hoping more than I am knowing that this thing gets better. But as of right now, I'm really shocked that they're performing the way they're performing. And Russell's not playing the way that I thought he would play to this point. Now, will that change? We'll see. But yeah, I think we're all like, wait a minute.
Do you think the record should be better than what it is now through 5 games?
Oh, absolutely, 100%, man. Dude, like we lost to Seattle with Geno Smith. I mean, no knock on Geno,
Yeah,
but
that game right there, I don't know. That was kind of a disappointment.
Yeah, you can't lose to Geno. And then you lose in the Raiders. They're 0-3. Listen, they're a good team, but you can't let them run the ball down your throat like that. And I mean, it was. So, but the biggest thing with the Broncos has been game management. Their failure to convert in the red zone. They drive the ball down the field, but then I think it's late game decision making that's really been a problem. You see the last game. I mean, they throw the ball when they have the lead by 3 points, and you're gonna throw the football in the red zone on the 13-yard line. All you gotta do is run the ball, kick a field goal. You're up 6 points. There's no way that you should believe that the Colts are gonna drive whatever 80 yards, 70 yards, and score a touchdown.
And especially not to be able to complete a single play on offense. All you're doing is having your special teams win the whole game.
Yeah, I mean it's practice right now. I'm worried. I ain't gonna lie to you. I'm worried about.
But do you think going throughout the season, you think going towards the end of the season, you think the Broncos will have a chance to go to the playoffs though?
Man, that's what I'm hoping. I mean, we're 5 games in. We got a lot of games to play.
Yep.
We got a lot of games to play. So
yeah, you're right. Like I said, man, I love my Denver. I'm not from Denver though. I'm from Florida. Yeah. But I had Denver.
I know what you want. I know what you want. You want me to console you. You want me to be a counselor. You want me to sit out and make sure I walk you off the ledge.
You did your
thing.
You did your thing in the Super Bowl. I might be youngster, but I seen you do your thing in the Super Bowl. I'm not mad at you for it.
All I'm saying is don't jump. Don't jump yet. Don't jump yet. Just be patient. Don't jump yet.
Hey man, that was a great interaction. That was a great interaction right there. Honestly, what we just did, that's the whole point of Hang. That is the whole point of Hang. You get to hang out with the stars, ask questions, put them on the spot. That was awesome. I enjoyed that thoroughly. By the way, I'm going to do something that's even awesome because I like giving stuff away. I've got some Hang swag I'm going to give away to the viewers right now. So if you are in the comment section, get ready to answer away to this question. And the first one to get it correct, I'm going to get you some Hang swag. Okay, so get ready to go to the comment section as I've got a question regarding one of the guys joining us right now, Jason Campbell. So Jason Campbell, he set the Auburn record with an 87-yard touchdown pass in 2004. Who has broken that record since? Put your answer in the chat section. Who has broken Jason Campbell's record since? Is it A, Bo Nix, B, Jarrett Stidham, or C, Cam Newton? A, B, or C? Who broke Jason Campbell's Auburn record of an 87-yard touchdown pass in 2004? Put your answer over to the right-hand side, and we're going to get to you guys. And by the way, Jason, if you can unmute yourself, I've got a quick quarterback question for you. One of the guys that's there on the game was Cam Newton. There's a lot of quarterback problems in the NFL right now. I mean, obviously, Russell's suffering. Some other guys are not doing well. And Campbell Newton's on the sideline. I mean, shouldn't he have an opportunity to be back in the league?
Yeah, you talk about some of the quarterback play we got going right now. Some bad football right now. I just think Cam, with his ability and his size, he's just a different type of stature. He's a big guy. And, he's a competitor first and foremost. I just think with the opportunity for him to play, maybe be able to help rally a team. I just feel like the last, the New England thing kind of hurt him a little bit. Things started off pretty fast there, and then they kind of unraveled a little bit. But I just feel like he still has some football left in him. It's just about being the right team in the right situation.
Awesome. That's a great one right there. By the way, we have a winner. The winner, let's see, Hayden P. Congrats, man. You were the first one to answer correctly. It was Cam Newton, by the way. Cam Newton, he threw a 94-yard touchdown back against Louisiana Monroe. not really the powerhouse school I was thinking of, but still, the answer was Cam Newton. So congratulations to Hayden, and you got yourself some hang swag coming your way. All right, so we are still in this game. I'm occasionally looking over at Chris Davis to see his reaction right now, and he's just kind of slumped in his chair. Chris, what is going on in this game?
No, I actually think they're playing good ball right now. They just got to get something going offensively, man. You just seen the receiver just drop a easy catch, and they got to make those type of catches in big games like this against a team like Georgia.
All right, now let's get a Georgia perspective. James Cook, you're checking out this game. It's 0-0, a little over 5 minutes left in the first. What have you seen in this game so far, James?
You got to be able to run the ball more, and like oppose our will because our O-line is big and physical. So, we just got to run downhill and get the run game going, and then open up everything else.
Understood. Hey, by the way, if you have any questions you want to ask away, before we get to some home gating, we're going to be doing that at the end of the quarter. So we're going to have some food recipes thrown your way by our chef, Jonathan Harrison, in a little bit. But before we get to that, always want to get your questions in. If you're a VIP, go over to the chat section and go ahead and say, hey, I've got a question for someone, and I'll get right to you, like I am right now. Brian K, you've got a question for TD. Go ahead and unmute your mic and ask away to TD.
Hey, TD, what'd you think of the Colts-Broncos game this past Thursday?
Oh, I watched it, and the overall game was a terrible game, to be honest with you. It was a horrible game. It was hard to watch.
I agree.
I agree. Just because it was so sloppy. I don't care who was playing, man. It just was not good brand of football. But ultimately, I thought that the Broncos are just they're not playing good football. And the Colts, as bad as they played, man, they've got 2 wins. They have a tie. And Matt Ryan, he's done, man. I watched Matt Ryan. I'm like, I think this is his last year. But other than and they're missing a lot of players from the Colts. And so the Broncos, man, we were in a position where we should have at a minimum won that game, and at a maximum we should have blew the Colts out. But we have too many self-inflicted wounds. Our guys aren't making plays, so we have to fix something. Like I said, I'm being patient. I'm still believing we can turn this thing around, but if they don't perform well next week against the Chargers, man, then I might have to sound the alarm. It might be time to sound it. Yeah.
Yeah, I understand.
I agree. Thank you. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you, Brian.
Yeah. Now wait. Man, Brian, who's your team, by the way?
I'm a Colts fan. So
wait a minute. You're a Colts fan? And I just talked about your quarterback. I talked about your quarterback, and you didn't say nothing to me about your quarterback.
Hey man, you're a legend. So I have to let you talk trash.
No, I wasn't talking trash. I was just telling you my opinion about your quarterback.
No, I respect it.
So no, seriously though, like Matt Ryan, do you feel like that the dude has fumbled the ball more than any quarterback in the league right now?
Yeah,
he just doesn't. Right. So to me, I don't get the MVP Matt Ryan down in Atlanta. I don't get that guy.
I don't understand it either. We don't have that version of Matt Ryan. We just don't. I think he's well past that. That age and time.
Yeah, I do have something to bring up regarding the Colts, and I want to bring Jason Campbell in. Jason, I believe it was 2015. I believe the Colts had reached out to you about joining the team, and you decided not to go to Indianapolis. You kind of retired early. I mean, what was your thought process behind leaving the NFL early, and are you still at peace with making that decision?
Yeah, after 10 years in the NFL and going through so many different changes, starting out in Washington, like a revolving door. And then, you go to Oakland at the time, and, we were winning at 12-7 as a starter. You break your collarbone, and all of a sudden, the next 3 years, you're trying to get back on as a starter. And sometimes it just becomes the weight on you. And, I just wish I could have stayed in the offense, long enough to continue to not have to worry about learning and playing. But the coach reached back out to me in 2015, so did Dallas and a couple other teams. But, I just told people, if I can't put my heart 100% into it, then I'm not going to do this team a disservice. And, I love the game of football, but when you go through so much sometimes, it can weigh on you a little bit.
I understand. I appreciate you being honest about that. That's great. That was one of the puzzling things. And you mentioned Dallas. I'm a Cowboys fan. I'm based here in Dallas. So when your name was brought up, I was like, okay. And then nothing really came to fruition. But hey, man, thank you so much for answering that. If you have more questions,
Jason.
Yeah,
I got one too. So Jason, were you there? So did you overlap with Shanahan with Mike?
No, Mike actually came in when I was getting traded to the Raiders, and I remember a couple months before the trade happened, he actually took me out to dinner twice, and he tried to convince me to stay because Washington just traded for Donovan McNabb, and I just told him, I said, well, you can guarantee my salary for the year, I'll stay and compete, but he was like, well, I can't do it. I have to get the owner to sign off on it. He was just like, but I just feel like you're a young talent, and we can work with you and get you in the right position. I told him, I said, yeah, I would love to play for you and everything. I said, but I just can't put myself at risk that if y'all can't guarantee my salary this year, I can get all the way to August and you may say you want to cut me because of my number. And then I'm left out of a starting job, and Oakland wanted me to come out and start at that time. So I had to go ahead and tell them I accept the trade. But yeah, I love his offense. Okay. I feel like if I could have played with Mike, I probably could have stayed in Washington for another 5 years and really done some special things because he runs my type of offense. I like watching the 49ers when I see Kyle run that offense. That's my kind of offense. And I just feel like when I went to Oakland, I was open-minded, but a little part of me also was like, dang, I just wish I could see what it can be like with Shanahan.
I'm sorry, I'm just taking all of this in. Like everyone else joining us, it's really cool to hear you guys talk back and forth about that. That's the whole point of Hang, by the way. If you're joining us for the first time, welcome. As you can see, you have some of the greats in college and the NFL join us, talking back and forth. And we're going to take your questions as well. Just go over to the comments section. If you're a VIP, type your question or say, hey, I've got a question in the comments section, the chat section, and we're going to come right to you. If you're not a VIP, that's fine. Still put your question in the chat section, and we'll come to you. And don't forget, we're going to do another hang tomorrow. Dolphins versus Jets. If you want to join us for that, Ricky Williams, John Abraham, Bart Scott, YouTuber MMG, all for tomorrow's hang, Dolphins and Jets. You can register to get your tickets right now at letshang.live, or you can go to the website and get the full schedule of all the games we're going to be doing for the remainder of the month. And also, everyone get ready because we're going to have some home gating recipes given to us by Chef Jonathan Harris. We have about 2 minutes left in the quarter, so we're going to get to those recipes in just 1 minute. Ryan O, you have a question. Ryan, go ahead and unmute yourself and ask away.
I got one for Jason Campbell, man. I bet he don't remember me, but a few years ago, I went to the Auburn game, and I got him and Ronnie Brown to autograph me some stuff. I was just wondering if he thinks he might remember me, man, because my Miami stuff. I'm from Sylacauga, Alabama, man, but I'm a huge Miami fan.
Right. Hey, I do meet a lot of people, man, but your face looks very familiar.
I know.
But I'm trying to figure out why you got all this Miami U stuff on, though.
That's my team, bro. And that's what you asked me whenever I was at the game. That's the reason why I was asking you, man. I remember y'all stopped me and you was like, "Are you crazy or are you lost?" I told you, I was like, "Man, that's my team, man."
But I appreciate you being a fan, though. Like I said, everybody has their college football team. They also have their personal guys they enjoy watching. I just want to say I appreciate you, man, your support. But I might get you some War Eagle gear, man.
Oh, that would be, hey, I ain't even gonna lie, I'm gonna do that, man. But I will say this before I gotta go, man. Ronnie Brown, and Carnell Williams was the best backfield I've ever seen in my life.
I appreciate it. I appreciate it.
No problem, man.
Awesome right there. So we have a little over a minute left in this first quarter. It's still 0-0 in this game, and we're going to get to Chef Jonathan Harrison in just a second as we get some recipes. So, man, let me go to James or James Cook. Are you surprised it's still 0-0?
Nah, who said it? One of them said it. This game always be a tough one, It's about whoever take care of the ball and whoever execute them best.
Yeah, and Peyton Barber, same thing?
I think Cook said it best. Yeah, it's all about who's gonna take care of the ball, and who's gonna make the less mistakes.
Yeah. Well, it looks like time is winding down right now. They're probably going to get another playoff. It's, third down. So we may just end this quarter 0-0. So I think this is a good time to go ahead and take a little break. And by taking a little break, I mean, I'm not thinking about my brain right now. I'm thinking about my stomach, because nothing goes better with the game than Coca-Cola and some amazing home gating meals. So we have none other than Chef Jonathan Harrison. Chef Jonathan Harrison has joined us. He's from Next Level Chef. You may have seen that with Ramsey. So, Jonathan, what is going on, man?
Not much, man. Just over here. Super excited to be partnering with Coke today to get these recipes out. So we've got 3 really awesome recipes over here. We've got these ribs, these pineapple soy ribs over here. They've been cooking for about 3 hours. And I want you to watch this. I want you to watch.
Oh, my God.
This bone right here.
Oh, my God.
Turn it up. They're still pretty hot. But like your bone just completely comes right out.
Look at that.
All right. And then you can cut into them and just go to town, because this pineapple soy barbecue sauce is out of this world. The recipe is so awesome. They're so accessible. You just got to head over to the website, and they're right there for you. So we've got these right here. All you have to do is stick these in the oven. No smoker required, and they're ready to go in just a couple of hours. You start those in the morning and forget about them at 300. Then we've got these awesome pizzas. All right, these awesome little pizzas. They're flatbreads. You buy the naan at the store. Doctor them up with whatever you want. I've got some basil pesto and some marinara mixed together right there as a sauce, and then mozzarella cheese, pepperoni, and some torn basil on top. Does it get better than that? And look, little individual ones. You can pick them up, eat them. Kids can take them wherever they want. It's fantastic.
Awesome. That looks good.
And these probably are my favorite, actually, right here.
Hey, Troy, I'm gonna have to go. I gotta go. I gotta get ready for meeting.
Okay. Oh, James, you got to head out, James?
Yeah, I got to go to meetings.
Hey, that's all right, man. Thanks so much for joining us, man. I appreciate it.
Appreciate y'all, man. Y'all have a good day.
Hey, you too, man. Good luck tomorrow.
All right, man. Appreciate that.
Awesome. All right, Jonathan, we got the ribs. We got the pizza. What's after that?
And then we got flank steak enchiladas right here.
Good Lord.
Flank steak enchiladas. You cook the flank steak perfectly, however you want it. I like it medium rare. I cooked it right to temp. Stuffed them inside some corn tortillas. Poured some enchilada sauce over them. Cheese, boom, broiler, brown cheese. It doesn't get better. I mean, does it?
Well, it doesn't, but I do have to ask a question, because Terrell Davis and I, we're going back and forth. Are you a big fan of Coca-Cola with peanuts?
So I am from Alabama.
Yes.
So that is commonplace for us here. That is the thing. It's mostly for the 65 and up crowd, but you do you, Troy.
Hey, Jonathan, I'm glad you clarified that. I'm glad you mentioned that. 65 and up. I ain't never heard nobody eat peanuts.
You definitely got to have an AARP card to enjoy that. But you know what? Do you? And but I do make a Coca-Cola cake, and I put peanuts all over the top of it. So I mean, it's awesome. Really good.
That's awesome. Well, you are also an Auburn alum, and this game is 0-0. You're watching it. What in your mind, what's going on right now?
I love Auburn. I love it so much, but it's the Auburn way, keeping it right down to the line. That's just how you do it. My senior year, my senior football season was 2013, where Chris Davis ran that back. I was a bartender at Auburn, watching that happen. And it goes down as the greatest night of my life. So, yeah, it goes down as the greatest night of my life.
Oh, Chris, you've got to enjoy hearing that, Chris, right?
I do. He said that was his senior year.
Yeah, I worked at Island Wings on Glen.
Say it again.
Halloween coat.
I worked at Island Wings on Glen, and they flipped the tables, dude. I mean, it was amazing. It was so cool. That was the best night. They shut the restaurant down for 2 hours so we could go roll tumors. It was like something out of a movie. So it was like
that's awesome.
Yeah, it was super.
That's really cool. That's really cool. Well, hey, man, thank you so much, Jonathan. You sold us the food. You got those ribs. You got the pizza. You got everything laying out there. I got to go around. I want to ask some of the guys, not only the food you're seeing that's prepared right now, as we're talking about home gating meals, thanks to our friends at Coca-Cola, but I'm curious, what was everyone's like go-to pregame meal? I know some players may be superstitious. Maybe they're concerned about what food they digest before a game. Let's kind of go around the room. I'm going to start with Peyton Barber. Peyton Barber, did you have like a go-to meal that you normally went to before a game?
Yeah. So I would get a steak, eggs, rice, and broccoli.
Oh,
and
man.
then I little I can't remember the name of the electrolyte packet.
Oh yeah.
I take a big gulp of water, pour it down, and that's how I did it.
That's how you did. Jason Campbell, did you have that pregame meal back in the day?
Yeah, man. I used to love eating ice cream the night before the game. You had dinner, and they had an ice cream in the hotel. And man, that's about the main time I eat my desserts. But it never all carbon up. But the day of the game, most of the time I eat some type of pasta, and I used to love pancakes and bacon if they had that, to offer early in the mornings. But if you had a 1 o'clock game, you had a night game, it was mostly pastas and things. But you got to eat a lot of carbs. But I enjoyed it. But I was also going to say though, I got to run back to the booth, the radio, get ready for halftime. But I want to say to my boy Chris Davis and Peyton, War Eagles, to you fellas, see you guys on the plane.
War Eagle, bro.
Hey man, I've always been a fan of yours, all the hard work you put through, and the MVP and the Super Bowl runs you guys had in Denver. And I look forward to doing this with you in a Denver versus Raiders matchup.
Ooh, I can't wait. Good to see you, Jason, man. Good to see you, brother. Man,
Awesome.
respect.
All right,
man, thank you. Man, God, thanks, man. I appreciate it. Man, such a good guy. Thank you so much. Such a good there.
Jason.
Hey, listen, the second quarter's underway, but I want to get to everyone else's meal before we get back to everyone hanging out with the questions in the chat section. Chris Davis, did you have that go-to meal before games?
It all depends on what time of the day the game was being played. I mean, if we had an early game, 11 o'clock, I may eat an omelet or some, a steak if we got a late game. So it just all depends. I ain't used to eat a lot. I used to try to, I was kind of picky. I tried to limit myself with food because I don't wanted to sit on my stomach during the game. So.
Mm-hmm. All right then, and then Terrell, I'm saving you for last because I'm sure you had like amino acids pancakes or creatine shakes. I know you ain't eating one single carb. I've seen you you and I hung out last year, and like you wouldn't even look at a loaf of bread. So what are you eating before a game? What did you eat?
No, it's funny because Peyton said like Chris talking about eating steak before a game. Good Lord, that's too much, man. Like I couldn't eat a steak before a game, man. I just feel like that'd be way too
like
heavy
half.
Huh?
Like half. When I ain't used to eat the whole thing like half,
but you did say it depends on the time of the day, right?
What's up?
But then Jason said something that was interesting because he talked about ice cream the night before the game. That was my superstition right there. I had to have vanilla ice cream with plain M&Ms. That was it. My night of the game. And then I take a little bath. I had to get in the bathtub, man, relax, stretch, get a little stretch in. So that was my superstition the night before the game. But pregame meal was always pasta, chicken breast. And that's really about it. Just pasta and chicken breast. So that's all I eat before a game. That's nothing heavy.
Tell you what, I've got some great cooking questions, especially when it comes to Gordon Ramsay. I'm going to ask Jonathan Harrison in just a second. But look who's on the screen hanging out with us right now. Auburn alum, the guy who was one of the originals in the Wildcat backs back in the day. Ronnie Brown joining us right now. Ronnie Brown, what's up, Ronnie?
What's going on, fellas? Sorry about the noise. I'm on the sideline, so I'm giving y'all some live and close-up action. But the perfect thing, I wanted to go to Georgia, but and it's good to be here now.
Hey, you're looking sharp down there, man. You got the diamonds coming off the ring. Got the glasses.
Feels good. It's great for some football. You got to stay hydrated.
Oh, is that it? That's what you guys stay. Well, hey, you got to stay hydrated, or if you're like me, enjoy your Coca-Cola with some peanuts, right, TD?
The Coke is fine, but not the peanuts.
Not the peanuts. Yeah, the Coke good, but not the peanuts. Tell Ronnie to stay out the sun, man. He can't get no blacker, man.
You know what, Chris? I think I'm gonna let you
get off my brother.
Yeah, I'm gonna let you say that. I'm not gonna say that. All right, I'm not gonna do that.
I ain't touching that.
Hey, by the way,
I know. I'm like.
Oh my gosh, it's so good, so good. Hey, if you have questions and you want to ask them to the guys, put them over in the chat section, and we're going to get to you. Especially if you're a VIP, you'll be able to ask the guys live in person. It's pretty cool as we do this Hang virtual watch party. Jonathan Harrison, our great chef that showed us some home gating meals earlier with the ribs and the pizza and everything else. You are not only on Next Level Chef, but you were on the show with Gordon Ramsay. I would love to know what Gordon Ramsay is like when the cameras are on and off.
Gordon is. I've met a lot of cool people in my life, but that is he's probably one of the coolest I've ever met. He is so kind and nurturing, which I know is just not what people think at all. But he really is. He's so very nice. And the only time he gets mad at you is when you're getting in your own way. And so, like, that is, I can't say enough nice things about him. He really was just the coolest. Yeah, I love getting to work with him and Richard Blaze and Naisha Arrington for sure.
Awesome. You know, one of my questions to you is like, what is your go-to meal as a chef? Because normally chefs, you have to create these really elaborate meals that take time and energy to put in. But normal guys like us that are just watching the game or hanging out at Hang, what's a good just go-to meal hanging around the house that everyone can whip together?
Dude, the best thing you can do is go get some short ribs and just braise them with whatever you like to braise in. You know, like build that flavor with some normal stuff like onions, peppers, throw some beer in there, and just stick it in the oven at 300 for a couple of hours, and you're set. I mean, it is the best. I mean, it's such a good recipe for success. Garlic, onions, beer, short ribs. Make sure you put a bunch of salt in there. You're good to go. Like,
awesome.
I mean, it's awesome.
That's great, man. Thank you so much for sharing that.
No problem. And like, you know, you can make enough for 30 in, you know, one swoop. So you got it. Have people over. Boom, boom. Yeah.
You keep the leftovers for yourself and just eat them throughout the week.
Sure.
You do
That's a meal
like,
prep right there. I'm not saying it's a healthy meal prep. It's a meal prep. It's a meal prep.
It's all good. Hey, by the way, let's get to some more questions as we're doing a Hang virtual watch party. Looks like the Bulldogs have already scored. They just put up the extra point right now. So Georgia is up 7-0 in this game. James B. I know Terrell Davis is feeling good right now. So James B., go ahead and unmute yourself and ask a question away to TD.
Hey, Terrell. So I was just curious, especially in the off season and the beginning of this season, everybody's saying our defense definitely fell off. But looking through the first few games of the season, to me, it looks like our O-line is definitely taking a nosedive. What do you think our biggest weakness is?
Yeah, I kind of agree with that. I mean, you think about it, when you lose the amount of talent we lost in that defense, it's kind of it's assumed that you're going to lose and take a step back. I mean, we have 5 first round picks in the first round. I mean, so when you have that kind of departure, I think people's reaction is, well, they're going to lose. They're not going to be the same defense, and it hasn't been the same defense. And will it get to that point? Who knows? But I agree. I think offensively, they've got to impose their will up front. The offensive line has to be the strength of that team. And so far, they really haven't been, because in games where they struggle, they don't run the ball extremely well. And you also lose James. I mean, you lose some good backs as well. So it's not like you lose an offensive lineman. But I would agree that that's probably the area that needs the most improvement. I see, but anything else, James?
Do you think that's the reason we're doing so many like bubble screens and dump passes? Because Stetson, he doesn't have a horrible arm. I mean, he's not bad, but at the same time, if you look at most of these plays even today, he's doing a bunch of dump passes. Is that because the O-line's letting the D in?
Well, it depends on the mindset. Listen, you're as an offensive coordinator, you attack a defense where they're weak. You know, you're not trying to. If you see that as an option where you're dumping the ball off into the flats where they're not defending the flat, then you attack those areas. So it's not like they're throwing those short passes because they can't run the ball or they can't have success in the middle. But listen, why? I mean, we always say, man, work hard, work smarter, not harder. Like, why are we trying to run down the teeth of the defense when they're giving us the flats or giving us the dump offs? So it's really what their philosophy is and how they are trying to really spread the offense out. And, you know, there's a philosophy in the game plan that a coordinator tries to execute. And, you know, so I wouldn't take it as they can't do certain things and that's why they're running like the bubble screens and stuff. That's just typical offensive play calling. They're trying to open up the offense, you know, take advantage of what the defense is giving them.
Awesome. Hey, thanks, James. I appreciate that question right there. Listen, I gave some screen time to a Georgia Bulldog running back. Now I've got to go to an Auburn running back. Ronnie Brown, you're on the sideline. You're at the game, live in the environment. I'm going to let you be our tour guide right now. I want you to kind of describe the scene and tell us what you're experiencing right now at the game.
Well, man, it's gotten really loud for Georgia since scoring that touchdown. So as you can see, look at their crowd behind me. They're everywhere.
That's right.
And so I'm kind of surrounded. I'm surrounded by a sea of red, and rightfully so. We're on the road. This is how it's supposed to be in an opposing stadium in the SEC. But you know, this is when Tigers come. You know, they come out the corner swinging.
I understand. Hey, you had your fair share of game going up against Georgia. What was your time like during the rivalry?
I mean, it was great for me. I'm a Georgia kid. I grew up in Northwest Georgia in Cartersville. So, you know, playing this game, I'm familiar with a lot of the players. A lot of the guys on Georgia were my buddies. And so, you know, it was some good old-fashioned, old school, hitting each other in the mouth football. And 04, we were able to get the best of them. But, you know, I think we just kind of split that series because that's just how this game was.
I understand. Hey, by the way, if you want to ask questions away to TD, or maybe you got questions for Peyton Barber or Ronnie Brown or anyone else, go ahead and put everything over in the chat section there on the Hang Virtual Watch Party page, and we're going to get to your questions. If you're a VIP, you can actually unmute yourself and ask questions away to everyone joining us today. And also, a big shout out to our sponsor, Coca-Cola. Coke is all about making great calls this fall. So we wanted to ask you guys really quick what you think of the greatest calls in college football history. Like, for example, I know Chris Davis, you're joining us, famous for the kick six win over Bama in 2013. But I'm curious, let you guys start thinking a little bit about some of the greatest calls as we think of those great calls brought to you by Coke in college football history. Chris Davis, let's go back one more time. 2013, just what was going through your mind even before you got the ball on the kick six?
Honestly, I knew he was going to miss the kick, but I thought he was going to miss it out of bounds. You know, I didn't think the ball was going to stay in the field of play. And when I seen it coming up short and I knew I had a chance to return it, it's like we practiced it because the blocking just fell into place. It was crackbacks left and right, and we never practiced that play. And some people actually thought we practiced that, and I was like, no. And I wasn't even the guy that went back there before we called the timeout to try to ice the kicker. It was my teammate, one of my best friends, Ryan Smith. He started going back there on his own, and I guess Gus called a timeout to ice the kicker, and they put me back there because I was the primary punt returner at the time. And then the rest was history.
Yeah, definitely. Peyton Barber, did you have a particular moment that you consider like a great call, or is there a moment that you remember just watching the game that you thought was one of the greatest moments in college football? Oh, Peyton, are you there, man? Oh, he may not be there. I mean, that guy
Peyton gonna say the kick six. I mean, he was on the sideline. He was there. He gonna say the kick six.
He's gonna go there. TD, what about you? Some of your great moments. I mean, was there
spotted at the 8, first down, goal to go.
What about you, Terrell? Was there a great call in your career, or one that you witnessed?
A great call that I witnessed in college?
Either in college or just one that you watched as a spectator, as a fan of the game.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's probably a few. I don't know. I mean, you got the old Cal Bears, Stanford, that old.
Oh yeah.
Played. For some reason, that sticks in my mind. But the band was on the field. I wasn't there to see that play, but that one stands out. But I guess the ones that were more recent would be when Texas played USC, and Vince Young was just ridiculous with it, man. I wasn't rooting for Texas, but just what he did in the fourth play in that final drive was incredible. And and then you had the play that set it up was Lindell White getting stopped on 4th and 1, which I don't understand what USC was doing, but that was an incredible game. Yeah, I guess I would say that. I would say that would be kind of the moment.
See, you already hate the fact that I put peanuts and Coke, and now you're just pouring salt in the wound by talking about the Longhorns, knowing that I'm an Aggie.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
That's what it is.
Hey, by the way, your Georgia Bulldogs are
you guys hear me now?
Started 2 away.
Look, I got one for you.
Yeah.
Hello?
It's not the kick six for me. You go back to 2013, like a week or two before we played Alabama, we played Georgia, and the way that game ended on a Hail Mary when Georgia and Ricardo Lewis somehow found the football, landed in his hand, and scored, man. They put the camera on me on the sideline, and I was like, wow, did that really just happen? So, that was an unbelievable moment and an unbelievable play.
That's a great one right there. By the way, we're checking out video reviews right now of the game. I think Georgia may have actually hit the pylon. I think they may have scored on this play. I mean, Peyton Barber, I know you're zoomed in on this game. Peyton, what are you seeing?
Can you guys hear me, first of all?
Yeah, I got you, Peyton. Go ahead.
Hello? Okay. All right, yeah. So to answer your last question, I got to
okay.
I guess called or whatever.
Peyton, going in and out, Peyton.
That's probably one of my favorite moments.
Yeah, go ahead, Peyton.
Can you guys hear me now?
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah. We got you now.
Okay, so kick six for sure.
Kick six?
Yeah, kick six for sure. That was my freshman year, and it was a crazy moment, man. Something I'll never forget.
Yeah, definitely a popular opinion for most Auburn Tigers. So there's no doubt about that. By the way, if you have any questions you want to ask the guys, Chris Davis, Terrell Davis, also Ronnie Brown, we got Peyton Barber here as well. KPC, he should actually be joining us at some point during this Hang virtual watch party, as we see Georgia has already gone out. Man, they've got a 0 right now on Auburn right now. Ronnie Brown, you're on site. You're at the game right now, Ronnie. What's the mood like for
University of Georgia Athletic Association and Georgia Power?
Man, it's looking rough for my Tigers. We got a shot. We're just not making many plays. The failed, the miss, isn't a good one. And then, we just got to settle down, hit the plays, make the plays to be made, and then you have a chance. But against a good football team, you can't make these kind of mistakes. I think they already have 5 or 6 penalties, and so that makes it a tough day between the, between the hedges when you're playing against a good football team because they make you pay for that.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, 100%, 100%. Hey, Troy, I need to break wide, man. I gotta run. So.
You got to head out, TD?
Yeah, I gotta get out of here. Thanks, everybody. Appreciate it. We'll see you guys on a call soon. And go Dogs, man. Go Dogs. Sorry.
Hey, nice to meet you, TD.
My Auburn brothers, I'm sorry, but this ain't gonna end well for you guys today. That's all I'm saying.
I
apologize. I apologize for that.
When you come in, you're a 28-point underdog. It's a tough day, especially when you're on the road. So, I think we were all just trying to keep it respectable, to be honest. Like, we had a shot. That's why we play the games. But, honestly speaking, the expectations, we knew it was going to be a tall task over here.
Yeah. All right, man. I got to bounce. Thanks, guys.
See you, TD. I appreciate it so much, man, Terrell Davis. Man, that insight from TD, that's just like great stuff right there. It's honestly one of the cool things about Hang. If you don't know, and it's your first time, Hang is this virtual watch party that you're joining in which you can actually not only hang with some of the greats from college and the NFL, but also interact and ask them questions. So if you have more questions that you want to ask, feel free to go ahead and put your question into the chat section. If you're a VIP, you have a little VIP logo next to your name. Just say, hey, Troy, I've got a question for, Chris, or I've got a question for Ronnie Brown, or I've got a question for Peyton. Just let me know in the chat section, and we're going to get right back to you. KCP, he's going to join us in a little bit. I believe we also have Mr. Fantasy Football Counselor as well, Joseph Robert. Joseph, are you there, man?
Hey, what's going on? Thanks for the introduction. How's everybody doing?
I'm doing well, man. That is a nice
what's up, man? Thanks. Fantasy meets reality, and I got to give a shout out to Peyton Barber because I gave him a hard time on social media. So, I just want to hope everything's cool, man. Hope you're doing well, sir. I don't know if you remember that.
Same to you.
Yeah, just remember, think of me as a WWE out there, man. It's all character, and I'm out there trying to represent the fantasy community. And if you guys aren't performing on the field, that's where we're kind of going to be a little bit, kind of jerks out there for you, So I can admit it.
Gotcha.
But yeah, we got so much going on in fantasy right now. So there's so much to catch up on. I guess we'll do that at halftime, but tons to catch up on. And again, fantasy meets reality here, guys. A pleasure to be with everybody here online.
Yeah, hey, I appreciate it. Yeah, we'll definitely get to fantasy because I see that you're actually representing a fantasy team on your head. I don't even consider the Texans real anymore.
Dameon Pierce is the reason. By the way, he was one of my sleepers. I called him. I love the talent, saw the upside, saw the opportunity for him to succeed. He was ranked 60th on the mainstream consensus rankings. I was talking about him right after the draft, saw the opportunity, had the beat writer on my show. We were talking about him, and I saw the opportunity, and now he's breaking out. Everybody's talking about Dameon Pierce, who had a big breakout game last game. Look out. He's got a good matchup this week, and we'll talk about that.
That's cool. Hey, Peyton, question for you. I mean, Peyton, you played on a variety of teams. You played for the Buccaneers. You played in Washington and for the Raiders. I'm curious about the locker room talk when it came to fantasy football. I mean, you guys obviously are aware that, average Joe and guys around the country are using you guys as like characters. But, I mean, do you guys talk about that in the locker room openly about fantasy football?
Honestly, no. To be honest, that was something that we really didn't talk about. Kind of one of those things where you know that it goes up, but
following the
nobody really talks
against
about
Auburn.
Yeah. What about you, Ronnie Brown? Ronnie Brown, did you guys ever talk about fantasy football when you were in the locker room?
I didn't. It was like the beginning stages of fantasy, but it's so many analytics behind that. I went to a deal a couple years ago that was held, and man, the funny thing is, it wasn't many people who actually played football that were a part of those conversations. There's a lot of smart guys who understand the analytics, playing on the road, what the weather's going to be like, when this guy performs better, in what stadiums. And so it was too much statistical stuff for me to just sit back and enjoy the football game.
Well, I'll have to say, Ronnie, you had yourself one hell of a fantasy football game in 2008. If I'm not mistaken, you ran for 4 touchdowns and you threw for a touchdown in one game.
Yeah, that was a good game up in New England. You know, we had our backs against the wall. We were 0-2, so we had to pull out all the stops. That's when we threw out the Wildcat, and it worked out for us.
Yeah, it definitely worked out for you, man. That was a monster game. I see Tom, one of our VIPs, talking about playing you in fantasy against the Pats. That was a monster game. Chris Davis, do you ever partake in fantasy, or do you ever do anything like that yourself?
Nah, I really haven't got into it, to be honest.
Yeah. It's something that some people get into, some people don't. But, I'm glad that, our fantasy counselor, he's going to be joining us, Joseph Robert, at the end of this quarter. And we're going to have a little fantasy football action, a little insight to everyone as we get ready for NFL Sunday tomorrow, which is a good time to remind everyone joining us for our Hang Virtual Watch Party. Dolphins, Jets. We're going to do a Hang Virtual Watch Party tomorrow. Not only can you join us by going to letshang.live and register for your free ticket, but you'll be able to ask questions and enjoy your time tomorrow during that game with Ricky Williams, John Abraham, Bart Scott, YouTuber MMG. Once again tomorrow, Dolphins versus Jets. That can be found at letshang.live. Letshang.live. Register, get your free ticket, and also get the full October schedule for all the Hang events that we'll be doing. All right, currently right now it's 14-0. Georgia's got this dominant, grasp upon Auburn right now. Come on. You got to give me some hope, some faith in your Tigers there, Chris.
We're putting a good drive together right now, man. We just got to capitalize and hope we can get some points off of it.
Yep. Same thing with you, Peyton. Are you seeing the same thing? Oh, Peyton, are you there, man? Peyton Barber?
Lost visual.
Oh, there he is right there. That's all right. Yeah,
Same
right
thing.
now.
Same thing, man.
Yeah, it's definitely difficult right now watching the game from here. Someone who's watching it 20 feet away from the football is Ronnie Brown. Ronnie Brown, describe that scene. It looks crazy right now.
Yeah, man, it's a little bit exciting. Matter of fact, it's too exciting because Auburn just had a turnover. They would have had the first down by 15 yards had quarterback Robbie Ashford not dropped the ball. So, that's a tough break, man. When you're on the road, you can't shoot yourself in the foot. That's what we were just talking about, man. I guess a good football team, talking about defending champions, you have to do the little things. And right now, Auburn's losing the penalty battle and the turnover battle. And so, that doesn't bode well for your team.
Yeah, we're just now seeing this live right now. Chris, I hear your reaction in the background. What are you thinking?
That's what Ronnie said, man. You can't make those kind of mistakes against a good team. And I just said something about we got to capitalize off the great drive we had going on, but it can't end like that.
Yeah, you can't do something like that. Hey, by the way, one of our VIPs in the chat section, Tom, you have a question for Ronnie about the Wildcat offense? Go ahead and unmute your mic and ask a question to Ronnie right now.
Yeah, hey, Ronnie. So I wanted to ask, we talked about that game where you had the 5 touchdowns against the Pats. And I remember that game as kind of being the Wildcat offenses emerging in the NFL. You guys kind of made it a thing that year, you and Ricky. So I guess I wanted to ask, did a lot of that come from the offense you ran at Auburn? And do you see that as part of your legacy, kind of bringing the Wildcat to the NFL?
It's a good question. Very good question. Oh, let's make sure Ronnie's still there. Ronnie, you there? I think Ronnie has left the stadium.
All right, I will ask Ricky that question tomorrow.
Yeah, you can ask Ricky. Yes, like you said, Ricky Williams. He'll be on tomorrow for Dolphins Jets. So you can ask that tomorrow. If you want to ask any questions tomorrow, by the way, free ticket. It's free. That's the great thing about Hang, the virtual watch party. So if you want to get that free ticket for Dolphins Jets, go to the website letshang.live. All right. By the way, Dolphins Jets. Let's get a little preview before we really break down fantasy football at the end of the quarter from Joseph Robert. Is there one particular player that you just want to throw out as a great player to look at during that matchup? Oh, Joseph Robert, you there, man?
Sorry, I was just reading something. What was the question?
That's okay. Hey, we were previewing the fact that you can do the Hang virtual watch party tomorrow with Dolphins Jets. Just want to get a quick question before we really break down fantasy football. What's the one player you should look out for in that matchup between
Dolphins and Jets, man? You got to take a look at Breece Hall. Now, Breece Hall's got a tough matchup versus position there. Clearly, but he's the guy that's been emerging, guy I was high on. Again, everybody seems to be riding his train right now moving forward. But Zach Wilson in the return, I think, is kind of the big thing to watch there in that offense for sure.
Awesome, man. Awesome. We're going to get back to more of that fantasy football content at the end of the quarter, which is coming up. It's only a little over 4 minutes left in this second quarter right now. Georgia is up 14-0 over Auburn. If you have any questions, you want to ask away to the guys that are joining us right now. Ronnie Brown on site at the game. Peyton Barber. Poor Peyton and Chris, man. You guys are just looking up here, just trying to find something. Wow, Ashford is not happy on the sideline. He is not happy. I mean, Peyton, you've had to see stuff like that on the sideline before during your career. Just guys just getting upset and just trying to control that anger during times like that, right? Oh, you're muted, man. You're muted, Peyton. If you want to unmute yourself. There you go.
I chime in on it. It's kind of hard to control those emotions. I mean, you go back to the Thursday night game, man, when Russell Wilson missed that wide open receiver in the end zone on the last play of the game. And, you know, he took his helmet off out of frustration and then just slammed it down, you know.
Right.
I don't know, was he mad at? Well, I know he was mad at Russ. Like, let's not beat around the bush. I know he was mad at Rush, but it's kind of hard to control your emotions, you know, during the game, especially a play like that could have won the game. So it's kind of hard.
Yeah. What about you, Peyton? Same thing. Is it hard to control your emotions? I mean, you've got literally, you know, tens of thousands of people in attendance and, you know, cameras everywhere. Is it hard to control your emotions during a game?
I would say so. I mean, you got to understand what us as players go through. I mean, it's a physical sport, and there's a lot of emotions involved in it. But I mean, I guess that's the name of the game. Just really keeping your composure.
That's right. Understand. Hey, by the way, we're going to have some emotional people in just a second because we're giving away stuff for free. So we're going to do a trivia question in just a second. And hopefully you guys and gals can win some Hang swag from us. So I'm going to give you a trivia question in 1 second. I believe Ronnie Brown is back. Ronnie, I mean, you've got to set the scene for us again. You're right there at the game. Time is winding down the first half. What's the scene like, man?
Man, unfortunately for us Auburn fans, it's a little rough. As you can see, we're just sitting comfortable. They're doing a really good job of running the football, but the scene is nothing short of electric. You know, it's nice out here. The weather is perfect for a fall Saturday. It's just, I would hope for a little closer football game. If Auburn can score this drive, that would be good.
Yeah. And you know what, Tom, our VIP, Tom, you were just on earlier and we kind of had a disconnection with Ronnie. Go ahead and ask Ronnie again what you wanted to about the Wildcat.
Yeah, I was going to ask that that game where you had the 5 touchdowns versus the Pats, kind of a lot of NFL fans introductions to the Wildcat. So I wanted to ask, did that come from the offense at Auburn? And do you see it as part of your legacy, kind of having brought the Wildcat to be a mainstream thing in the NFL?
Well, I couldn't hear you that much. It was choppy. But, I mean, when you talk about the Wildcat, we had our quarterback coach, David Lee, who was at Arkansas, with Felix Jones, Derek McFadden, and Peyton Hillis. And so, put it in. And so when we did that,
think he cut out again. He cut out again right there. It's all right, Ronnie. Yeah, we understand what you're saying about the walkout. Man, you threw out a Peyton Hillis reference. I almost went and grabbed my Madden video game with him on the cover of it.
Ronnie think he really started the Wildcat. He really do. He didn't made that comment plenty of times to me. He think he started the Wildcat.
Oh, you don't believe that? You don't believe that?
I mean, yeah, he did. Him and Ricky Williams in Miami, they did.
Okay. Yeah, he gave a little bit. By the way, let's go ahead and do the trivia question. Coincidentally, you mentioned one of the guys that's in one of the possible answers to this trivia question. So if you know the answer to this question, over in the chat section, just go ahead and type in your answer, and whoever answers first will win themselves some hang swag, okay? So here we go. Here's today's question. Which running back who is appearing on our hang tomorrow shared a backfield with Ronnie Brown in Miami? Be quiet. Number A, A, Curtis Martin, B, Ricky Williams, C, Adrian Peterson, or D, Darren McFadden? Which running back who is appearing tomorrow was in the backfield with Ronnie Brown in Miami? A, Curtis Martin, B, Ricky Williams, C, Adrian Peterson, D, Darren McFadden. By the way, one of those options I've got to throw out there, Adrian Peterson. Maybe you guys will probably think it's a cool thing. I watched Adrian Peterson play when he was in 8th grade at Palestine, Texas. So it was pretty awesome. Were there any players? Let's go and start with Peyton Barber. Peyton Barber, were there any players you saw, whether you were lined up against them or on your team, that you were like, wow, this guy's going to go on to do great things? Go ahead and unmute yourself, Peyton. Yeah, like those players that you saw that you thought, wow, this guy's going to do like unbelievable things.
Are you talking about in college?
Yeah, sure.
Well, yeah, I mean, my best friend is Carl Lawson. We went to the same high school, 2 days apart, next door neighbors in high school, roommate in college. So got to spend a lot of time with him and see the work and effort that he put in.
That's cool. That's very cool. Chris, was there that player that you either played with or you saw from afar and you thought, wow, that guy's going to do something special?
I'm going to tell you one I played with. It was Cam Newton. I mean, I knew he was going to be special. We came in together. We was actually in the same recruiting class in 2010. And he used to tell us, man, we used to go play basketball at the student act. And he used to tell us he was going to lead us to a national championship. But he just used to blow him off like, man, who is him? I ain't never seen him play at that time. But he did that, man. He led us to a national championship, and he lived up to, whatever the standard was he had for himself. Yeah, and that was one guy that actually stood out to me.
Yeah, Cam Newton, I mean, physically, mentally, everything he did as a leader at Auburn was so spectacular. He won the national championship. Then he goes to the NFL, wins the MVP, plays in a Super Bowl. Then there came a time where people just kind of soured on him, and now he's not even in the league. Do you think Cam should be in the league right now with all the quarterback issues and some of the scrub quarterbacks that are having to play right now? Do you believe, being his former teammate, that Cam should be in the league right now?
I mean, that's not even a question. I mean, everybody knows he should still be in the league right now. Yeah. At least as a backup. But you got to ask yourself, is you Cam, if you're willing to play that backup role. Sometimes you got to put your pride to the side there, and you may get your number called again, because we know anything can happen, whether it's injury or not, or whatever, and then you right back in the mix. So.
Yeah, you have to decide if you want to be a backup. I know, covering the Cowboys, Dak Prescott, people think, Tony Romo was a great, mentor for him. It was actually Mark Sanchez. Mark Sanchez was a backup for the quarterback for the Cowboys, kind of sat back, said, I'm a backup, and he became a great mentor. I think the same thing could happen for Cam Newton, but you gotta swallow your ego sometimes. By the way, Ryan S, you got the answer correct, and of course, who was in the backfield with Ronnie Brown in Miami? It's Ricky Williams. Ricky Williams, that is the answer right there. So congrats to Ryan S. You've got some hang swag coming your way. And if you want to hang out with Ricky Williams tomorrow, get it? Hang. That's what we do. Hang. Ricky Williams, John Abraham, Bart Scott, YouTuber MMG tomorrow. Dolphins versus Jets. Get your free ticket to go and hang with them for the virtual watch party tomorrow at Let's Hang .live. That's Let's Hang .live. And of course, go to the website and get the full schedule of all the games we're going to be covering here on Hang. As looks like time is winding down for us, gentlemen. Less than a minute left in this game. Ronnie, I know you're still there. You're still on site. Man, you've had to endure a lot being there in person. I need a good pep talk from you, Ronnie Brown. I need a good pep talk as to what your Auburn Tigers can do in the second half. Oh, no, Ronnie. Oh, Ronnie. Is Ronnie not there?
He's in the heart of the action.
He is in the heart of the action. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Well, you know what? I'll go to you, Chris. Give a pep talk. Give some words of encouragement to your Auburn Tigers.
Oh man, I think defensively we playing a pretty solid game. I think we just got to get some momentum, something going on offense. Come out, try to figure out how to get some points. We can't really throw the ball. We can't really run the ball. So they got to just come up with a plan, because going back to the Penn State game, man, it was close going in the half, and when we left halftime, it seemed like we didn't make any adjustments, and the game just got blown wide open. And I hope it don't be the same for them coming out in the second half of this game.
That's right. That's right. I understand what you're saying right there, Peyton. You got to help your boy out right there. You got to help Chris out. Give us some words of encouragement for your Tigers as they're down right now, 14-0. Just a few seconds left in the first half. What are your words of encouragement? I think Peyton dropped out as well. You are a one-man island right now, Chris.
I got a question. I got a question for Chris. Chris, is that a home theater you're in right now? It looks like a home theater.
Yeah, it's kind of one I done kind of made it up a little bit. It is.
I like it. But you know what's missing is a phone with your fantasy team on there getting ready for Sunday. You know what I'm saying?
Look, I got to try to get into it, man. I never really got into it. I got to try to get into it.
You got to get into it, man. There's a lot of guys coming on. They were former players that some of them play some dope, but everybody who doesn't, we got to get you guys in a league together.
Yeah.
It'd be fun.
Absolutely. Absolutely. By the way, speaking of fantasy, Joseph Robert here, AKA the fantasy football counselor. We're about to break down some fantasy football action for tomorrow. And so we get ready for NFL Sunday. As right now we're enjoying college football Saturday. In this game right now, well, it's been all Georgia. It's all Georgia right now. And you kind of expect something like this. A 5-0 Georgia team going up against a 3-2 Auburn team. Stuff like this is going to be happening. Hey, by the way, I think Ronnie Brown is back. Before we let him go, Ronnie, I got to pop you on one more time. I've got to get that atmosphere. I need some words of encouragement from you regarding your Auburn Tigers. Ronnie, you there, man? Ronnie's trying to get in. I see him right there. He's trying to make his way in. Yeah, it's just not happening. It's just not happening right now. Can't get Ronnie in and can't get this offense rolling. Oh, what a throw.
What a throw.
Chris, you're shaking your head, man. I see you right there.
I mean, as former players, man, it's hard to watch.
Yeah.
You don't know who to blame. Some people want to throw all the blame on Arson, but I'm a firm believer in it's 50-50, man. Like, the players play the game and the coaches play. I think it worked hand in hand.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, and you're watching the game as a former player, and now I want to go to Joseph Robert. Joseph, the fantasy football counselor, you're watching the game as a fantasy football expert. I mean, obviously, I have a big name in mind when I'm thinking of this Georgia offense that could be a fantasy football favorite next year. But who are some guys that you're watching in today's game that you're looking at for the future?
I'm going to be honest with you. It's the quarterback for Georgia. I'm going to be totally straight with you. If it's not fantasy relevant now, I don't really pay too much attention to it. And that's going to be that's the honest truth. But you got to take a look at Georgia running backs, any situation, those guys are amazing when it comes to fantasy. They come into the NFL. If they land on the right team, then, then we're looking at a super fantasy relevant running back. So Georgia backs, that's the only thing I really look at in this game.
So you think Georgia have backs are better than the two Auburn got right now?
Well, no, I'm not going to say that. I don't have enough research and analysis on this topic to make a decision, but I know historically, I like Georgia backs throughout the years.
Yeah, I will say I got burned last year in fantasy football. I thought Kyle Pitts would show out and come in as a dominant tight end. But, man, I really like Brock Bowers. I think Brock Bowers is a very, very serviceable tight end that could make a big splash in the NFL one day.
But ain't that the tight end from Georgia, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
And to be straight with you guys, as good as they are in college, okay, if they don't land on the right team with the right opportunity, they're not going to be as fantasy relevant. I'll give you a quick example. Sony Michel, one of the top prospects out of the draft years ago, loved him in college, right? Comes into the NFL. As soon as I heard he was on the Patriots, I'm like, I got a little bit, because it's a committee there. They run a committee. He's not going to get that full volume. He's not going to, reach his full potential. So again, for me, I analyze, when the NFL draft comes, I see where they land. Then I kind of reverse engineer and see where they played. Then I look historically, statistically, and then I see where they fall in the depth chart. And then I make proper educated decisions. Example, Dameon Pierce this year.
Wow, man. That's
a
why
science,
you're the fantasy football counselor, man.
It's a
Look
science.
at that breakdown.
It works, man. I'm telling you, this is the way I do it.
That's really good. Hey, by the way, Chris, there's 2 seconds left. I see your quarterback for Auburn had a nice run, setting up for maybe a Hail Mary right here.
Yeah, probably so, because the kicker been struggling. He been missing chip shot field goals. I know he coming off of ACL, but they're probably just gonna throw it up and try to get a receiver a chance to make a play.
Really quick, since you did bring that up, are the kickers the loneliest guy on the team? Or the long snapper?
They kind of run together. They kind from the kicker, the long snapper, and the holder. They kind of run together.
I understand. I get it. Sometimes I see kickers on the sideline, and I'm like, wow, there's like no one around you.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Yeah. Well, it looks like we have a timeout right now for the Georgia Bulldogs. They're looking at this offense for Auburn. 2 seconds left. Georgia's got this 14-0 dominant win right now, or lead. I'm not going to say a win yet. I'm going to say a lead right now. And, of course, we're going to get back to Joseph Robert. He's our fantasy football counselor. We're going to break down NFL Sunday. And, of course, tomorrow, if you want to hang with us again, join us tomorrow for the Hang Virtual Watch Party. Simply go to letshang.live and get your free virtual ticket, and that's going to get you into Dolphins and Jets. Dolphins, Jets tomorrow. Ricky Williams, Bart Scott, John Abraham, YouTuber MMG. You can join us tomorrow, ask questions, become a VIP, get all the information you want by going to letshang.live. And by the way, thank you so much for everyone that joined us today. I love everyone that's just sharing all their comments and their experiences. Daniel D, my first experience as well. Ryan S, I'm having a great time. My first experience on Hang. This is awesome. Zach B, he gave I think that's a Peyton Hillis reference you just gave. But, yeah, it looks like Auburn fell short right there. So we go into the halftime 14-0. Georgia is winning. Hey, Joseph, let's go ahead and get into some fantasy football action for tomorrow. What are some of the matchups? What are some of the names? What are some of the things we can look forward to for an NFL Sunday coming from a fantasy football expert?
Well, I hope Chris Davis has his pen and paper out now. Take some notes here if he wants to enter the fantasy football world. Listen, I'm excited. And the beauty of fantasy football is that there's certain players I wouldn't watch. There's certain teams I wouldn't watch. But because they're on my fantasy team, I have to tune in. I wouldn't be wearing a Texans hat, but I'm wearing one because I'm a Dameon Pierce ambassador and an owner in fantasy. So I want to go over some highs and lows, some guys that have good matchups and guys that may have some tough matchups, and also some key players to watch. And again, if you're not playing fantasy, you may not be as interested in these scenarios unless you're a fan of that particular team. So I'll give you a quick example. Kenny Pickett versus Buffalo. Tough matchup versus position, but now he's finally getting the start. You know, Mitch Trubisky didn't really wow us going in. And this is very important. It's a key monumental start here because there's so much fantasy relevance here, from Deontay Johnson to Najee Harris, who's had, I'd say, a lackluster performance to start the season, right? He's just not getting it going. He's not getting the checkdowns. He's not getting those receptions. So Kenny Pickett is something to watch. But again, you're throwing him in with the Wolves, man, because it's Buffalo and they're a hot defense right now. So that is something you want to key in on, is Kenny Pickett, the Steelers, and that entire situation there. Other tough matchups at quarterback, just to talk, Lamar Jackson versus Cincy and Kyler Murray should be interesting this week versus Philly. Okay, now those are some key guys at quarterback, but also you also want to know some other key things that are happening here. Kyle Pitts, some injuries, hamstring injury here. We got Brian Robinson, who I don't know the details of the shooting, was shot in the leg at the beginning of the season, missed some time. Apparently he's back in the groove, and he's slated to be a backup to Antonio Gibson. So we've been following that storyline, especially if you're a fantasy owner of Brian Robinson, wishing him well. So those are some key things to watch for, but you want to look at some optimal starts as well. I like, again, Zach Wilson, we talked about, Brady versus Atlanta, Pat Mahomes versus Vegas. And that's a very interesting division now because, again, Russell Wilson, that's a whole other thing that everyone's talking about. And you guys could chime in here. I don't get it. Russell Wilson, he got paid, what, a bazillion dollars, and he's a great player. I like him. I actually think he's a great, I don't know him personally, but it looks like a great person. It's very disappointing to see that. And I don't know if it's a coaching thing. It hurts the fantasy and reality world and Denver fans. Anybody want to chime in on, like, what do you think is happening there?
I'll tell you right now, personally, it hurts me. I'm in a 2-quarterback fantasy football league. My 2 quarterbacks, Justin Herbert, Russell Wilson.
I love Justin.
I really thought Russell was going to go somewhere different and make a new avenue for himself. Tom Brady did the same thing. Peyton Manning did the same thing. He's going to start a new avenue, a new life, a new career. It hurts so bad to see this. And I don't particularly like the personal shots, because if you know anything about Russell Wilson, yeah, he's a little corny, a little campy, but he's a great person. And so the personal shot's one thing, but the fantasy or the football, what he does on the field, take as many shots as you want, because he is not playing up to speed.
I don't get it. Now, I just heard the news. I'm not a doctor because I don't know the terminology, but he did get an injection in the shoulder. Now, I don't know if I want to excuse that and make, okay, well, let's feel bad for Wilson because it's a shoulder thing. It is what it is. Hopefully the shot helps on his shoulder, and it's an injection of some sort. I don't know whether it lubricates the joint. I'm not a doctor, but again, maybe it's a shoulder issue that's doing it. But again, I was high on him. I thought he was good draft value, drafted in the 8th round this year. New revival of his career. You think that maybe things were getting a little stale in Seattle. Changed. He's got talent around him. An unfortunate injury to Javonte Williams, obviously. But again, it is what it is. Hopefully it gets better. And hopefully you got a backup for Russell Wilson. That's a rule that I have, Troy, is in a 2-quarterback league, always have 3 quarterbacks. Okay.
Yeah. I definitely have a backup, and I should have probably put him out there. I had Trevor Lawrence. I picked Trevor Lawrence as my backup.
Sounds like a solid roster. And again, it happens. I mean, I would have started Russell too if I had him in the league, but so again, a couple more highlights here. Amari Cooper, Stephon Diggs, CeeDee Lamb, great matchups versus position at the wide receiver position. We got James Robinson and my guy, Dameon Pierce. James Robinson, another sleeper that I was telling people about. Everyone's saying, Travis Etienne. I'm like, he hasn't played an official NFL game, and Robinson is the RB1. I had the beat writer on my podcast talking about this, and Robinson has kind of emerging, had a bit of a down week last week, should emerge again against Houston this week. So watch him. Dalvin Cook has been a bit of a bust for fantasy. We call it bust, not performing where he should be this year. So hopefully he does better this week for the owners. They invested high draft capital, and I'm playing Chicago. Good matchup versus position. So those are some key notes and highlights. And another thing you want to watch out for is Tyler Algier. Cordarrelle Patterson out now on IR for at least 4 weeks. Tyler Algier, a sleeper of mine. I want to pat myself on the back. He has a chance to emerge here as a running back one on offense. It could be a committee there with Caleb Huntley. Both had 10 attempts last week, and it seemed like Algier was doing more in regards to yards per carry in those attempts. So another situation to watch is the backfield in Atlanta. So much to talk about, so much excitement, and I'm pumped about week 5.
Yeah, it's funny you mentioned Dalvin Cook. Earlier in the hang, we had James Cook on, who, of course, is a former Georgia alum, but also Dalvin's brother. Had to kind of bite my lip because I didn't want to get into fantasy and bring up Dalvin's name, but I know what you're talking about when it comes to Dalvin Cook. Hey, if we want to get some more information directly from you and see what kind of work you're doing, where can we check you out?
Just Google Fantasy Football Counselor. I recommend the YouTube channel, and number one on Instagram, verified Fantasy Football Counselor on IG, number one influencer on there in regards to analysis. I was the first vlogger on there. So I live and breathe this stuff, guys. If you need anything, hit me up in the DM. Mention that it was from Hang. Just DM me the word Hang. I'll give you guys some priority advice over DM.
That's awesome. That's awesome right there. Joseph Robert, a.k.a. the Fantasy Football Counselor, dropping some fantasy football knowledge as we get ready for Dolphins Jets tomorrow. We're going to be doing the virtual hang party one more time, and we're going to it's not one more time. We're doing it for the season. You've got to check out and see what games we're actually doing for the rest of the month. You can go to the website. It's letshang.live. Letshang.live. Go to the website, get yourself the schedule for the remaining days in October, but also get your free ticket for tomorrow. Get your free ticket and come hang out with Ricky Williams, John Abraham, Bart Scott, YouTuber MMG, and we get to have a lot more fun. And one more time, we've got to give a big shout out to our friends over at Coca-Cola. Coca-Cola has been representing today with their Coke Great Calls program. We've had some good times. Hey, I've got to get your opinion on this, Joseph. It was a hot button topic earlier. Are you not a fan of Coke with peanuts?
When I have a Coca-Cola, it's not Coca-Cola with peanuts, like drinking them together.
Yeah, like you literally take a glass Coke and you put peanuts in it. It's a Southern thing.
I'm a Northeast guy. I've never heard of that. It's wings. I got to have my wings. And I had a spirited debate with my wife because we were at a Coca-Cola when I ordered wings, and it just wasn't the same. So I got to have my Coca-Cola and my wings.
Okay. All right. Then what about you, Chris? What's your go-to like when you're like home gating, when you're making your own meals at the house, what's your go-to food when it comes to sitting down with Coca-Cola?
Honestly, Chris don't cook.
Oh, you don't cook?
No, sir. No,
Well, by the way,
I don't cook.
Well, did you know that you could go to coca-cola.com/collegefootball and win prizes, including DoorDash?
Oh, for real? No, I ain't know that.
Yeah. You see how I work that in there? That's a professional.
Yeah.
You got to work that in there. Yeah. If you go to coca-cola.com/collegefootball, sign up, and you get not only great content and experiences through that Coke Great Calls program, but also the recipes that we did earlier with our chef, Jonathan Harrison. It's all there at the website, coca-cola.com/collegefootball. We are getting ready for second half action. Auburn versus Georgia. Guys, I've enjoyed this thoroughly. I haven't done a good hang and hosted one in quite some time, and you guys have made this an unbelievable experience, including everyone to the chat. Any closing words, thoughts, philosophies that you guys might have? Let's go and start with Chris Davis.
Man, I just want to say thanks for having me, man. I got my daughter, she just turned 40 today, man. She having a birthday party in about an hour and a half. And I gotta go catch it, man. But I just want to say I appreciate being.
Dude, that's awesome. Thank you so much. And then Joseph, any final comments you have for everyone that's hanging out with us?
I think he said his daughter's birthday. So happy birthday to her. I've got a daughter myself. I know it's a special moment. So happy birthday to her. Chris.
Appreciate it.
Thank you. And I just want to say, man, I mean, it's just fun to have the two worlds kind of not collide, but collaborate together, fantasy and reality, because there's so much of this stuff going on online right now with the fans saying, why don't you perform? Why don't you do this? Or we love you. We dislike you this week. So it's nice to have that back and forth with real athletes and hear their perspective as as a fantasy community. And it's been great. And I got to go have my Coke and wings.
Okay. And, get a handful of peanuts and throw it in there too. Yeah,
I gotta try it.
Yeah, you've got to try it. You've got to try it.
Personally, it's good. Like, what is it? Like, is it supposed to taste good? Is it like supposed to have
you get the sugariness that comes from Coke, and then you add a little saltiness of the peanuts. It's that sugary salt sensation.
Okay, I gotta try this now. So salted peanuts in the Coca-Cola.
That's it. It's perfect. It's
It.
perfect. Yeah, and you know what? I hope I'm speaking for everyone that joined us on Hang today, and everyone in the comments section: James, Anna, Tom, Brad S, Ryan, everyone that Hayden was a big guest of ours here in the VIP section. Listen, the great thing about Hang is not only is it a way to watch the game virtually and to hang out, quote unquote, with everyone else, but what's also really cool is that you get to see the interaction between some of the greats from the NFL and from college football. And we had this great interaction between Terrell Davis and Jason Campbell earlier when they were talking about their days. Just really awesome to be a part of something like this on Hang. And I hope that you want to continue doing this as the football season continues, not only in college, but also the NFL. Tomorrow, once again, Dolphins, Jets. Get your tickets right now for the virtual hang party at letshang.live. And you can ask questions to Ricky Williams, to Bart Scott, to John Abraham, YouTuber MMG, and probably some other surprise guests that will be joining us. And once again, a big shout out to Coca-Cola for sponsoring today's hang. Go check out the website, coca-cola.com/college football. Get all the information you want about the content we talked about, recipes, experiences, and so much more. For myself, Troy Hughes, and everyone that joined us today, you guys have a great weekend, and thanks for hanging.